Shirt show. All right, let's go.
Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Shirt man! All right! Episode 302 of Shirt Show. We're talking with Brandon and Hailey from Jaded Creations in Indiana. Let's go!
Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Dylan. I am the owner of Upstate Merch and the host of the Shirt Show podcast. My guests today were Brandon and Hailey from Jaded Creations. It's kind of cool. I met them through Shirt Show. They had messaged me and wanted to send me some samples of their work and just kind of check out what they're doing. And I got the package, and it was no joke, one of the best pitches toward showing me product that I think I've ever gotten. And we started working together. I use their products and I'm pitching them to clients, and it's awesome. They do a lot of the like stickers, promotional products, tumblers, laser engraving, all those kinds of things, UV printing. And they've been amazing. And I've been talking to them a lot, and I wanted to have them on the show to kind of show that side of the business, like things you can sell that aren't just t-shirts. So I got to hear their story and kind of why they do what they do and the passion that they have for it. And it was pretty great. So this was a good one. If you guys enjoy episodes like this, the best way to stay in touch with everything is to join our newsletter. One comes out every week. I write them myself. It is a note about me and what's going on with myself, my shop, whatever. And then there is industry news from Printing United. There are articles. There are tips and tricks. There's shop hacks, all kinds of things. And also, if we're doing a project like a camp, you will be the first ones to know, the first ones able to sign up. So it's kind of cool. Check it out at shirtshowofficial.com/newsletter to sign up. This show would not be possible without our amazing partners. Frank. It all starts with a screen. Whether it's new frames or restretches, Frank and his team do it the best. If you care about consistency, great registration, and buttery smooth prints, stop buying crappy screens and invest in the best. Learn more at graphicscreenfashion.com, greatfuckingscreens.com, or ffffrank.com. Let's be real, reclaiming screens kind of sucks, but Easyway makes it suck way less. Their line of eco-friendly chemicals and equipment are built to clean faster, work better, and save you some sanity in the washout booth. They're running a monthly giveaway where you have a chance to win $250 in product credit. Head over to easyway.com/giveaway to enter today. Easyway, it's the easiest way. Is your art backlog piling up? Graphic Source has your back. Whether you're a one-person shop or running a large production team, GraphX can either be your full-time art department or your a la carte option for artwork separations. If you didn't know, they also offer some of the best digitizing services out there. Let them help you alleviate some of that stress, and be sure to check them out at graphxsource.com. This episode is brought to you by American Apparel, blending premium print-ready styles with a modern craft the culture mindset, getting that soft retail feel your clients love. Now backed by ethical production and serious scale, your garments look elevated, print beautifully, and align with how brands think today. American Apparel is a solid move. Be sure to order your blanks exclusively at ssactivewear.com. Speaking of SS Activewear, SNS is the behind-the-scenes partner every shop needs. With one website, one purchase order, 14 distribution centers, and over 100 beloved brands, you can streamline your ordering and hit free freight faster than ever. SNS has 1 to 2 day shipping with the lowest error rate in the industry. Be sure to order your blanks the smart way at ssactivewear.com. For over 90 years, Stahls has been the leading choice among apparel decorators for their heat transfer materials, heat press equipment, and custom transfer services. Not only do they continue to set the bar, but they are number one in education on all things heat press. Be sure to check them out on YouTube and order your transfers, patches, and so much more at stahls.com. Ryonet has always been that solid go-to resource for screen printers, with rock-solid supplies, deep education resources, and a support network that always has your back. Ryonet has the tools, the knowledge to help you move forward. Be sure to check them out at screenprinting.com. If you're looking to join a community of like-minded printers, embroiderers, digitizing, I don't know, whatever it is you want to do that's in this industry, we have a place for you to go. It is our Shirt Show Discord channel. It's totally free. You can use it on your desktop. You can use it on your phone. It is a supportive, amazing group of people that are here to help and just talk to you about printing. So go to shirtshowofficial.com/Discord, sign up. It's really awesome, and it is inviting. So go check it out. I just want to say I really appreciate all you guys for listening, watching. It means the world to me. If you want to reach out to me personally, hit me up on Instagram. It is at ShirtShowOfficial, or you can send me an email, print@upstatemerch.com. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if there's anybody you want to see on the show, if there's a topic you want to see me cover, or you just want to shoot the shit. I'm here. I'm available. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Thanks. What's up, guys? How are you?
Great.
How's it going?
It's going. It's Thursday. And, when I do these things in the middle of the day, usually I find myself, oh shit, like 5 minutes before I hop on of like, yeah, I have these things I have to finish.
No shortage of things to be, oh crap about.
Yeah, for real. You guys seem busy with all the projects we talk about or see or post on the internet. You guys are just making stuff nonstop.
Yeah, it's been very good. I can't complain. And today's been exceptionally weird.
Mm-hmm. It
Why?
gets weirder and weirder.
So I was supposed to do a bunch of stuff and a bunch of stuff fell apart, but our new sewing machines are here. And they got here like last month, but we had problems with threading and other issues. So they all showed up, yesterday. So the tech came out today and he got everything all threaded up and we're good to go. So I'm ready to start ruining stuff for the next 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Lots of that going on. It seems like, again, I'd like to get your guys' story and the whole whatever. I mean, we've been talking for at least a little while now about our own projects, but you guys are investing a lot in new equipment. Is that because you're just like, ooh, shiny new toy or new thing I can offer? Or is that more like a plan? What's going on?
So from the outside looking in, yeah, it looks like we're just completely and totally stupid. It does. It looks like new shiny syndrome by a long shot. But so I guess we can start way back.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah, so I grew up in automotive. I was a diesel tech for over a decade. Yeah, and I kind of just got sick of it. I got to the top of it and really just couldn't take it anymore. I wasn't actually turning wrenches, so I decided something's got to give. I'm sick of arguing with warranty, basically 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. So I started looking for something, and I was going to get into woodworking, but we couldn't scale it fast enough to really get where we wanted. And I stumbled across the CO2 laser. Didn't really know a damn thing about it, but figured out that we can make cutouts. So within like 2 months of buying that, we were doing like $25,000 a month in wooden place settings for weddings.
Pretty quickly, yeah.
So
hold on. You go from
it's weird.
diesel mechanic work to, I think I'll do woodworking. No, that's not going to be fast enough. Like, is that a little bit of ADHD you got there, bud? Or
so horrible ADHD. Yes, terrible. You're going to notice that from the fact that I can't stop moving.
Yeah.
So I apologize to your editor. But yeah,
well, I guess my question there is like, how do you pick? You know what I mean? Like, if you're going from career to, was it just, what is something I can tolerate hobby wise / business wise to get into so I don't have to work at this other thing? Or was it more, this is really what I want to do?
It was really trying to find something that we could both do because I really didn't care to work for anybody else. And to be honest, I'm a terrible employee.
You're not meant to work for somebody else.
No. So she went to the Art Institute and she has a background in graphic design and she's worked at another screen printing shop, which hindsight being 2020, I wish I would have paid attention to that back then because obviously now it makes a little more sense.
Hailey, what were you doing at the other print shop?
I was just a graphic designer up front. I watched a lot of the production because it's incredibly interesting, but I wasn't really doing much of that. We did a lot of like cut vinyl because the company that I work for, they dealt a lot with the local schools. So we did a lot of sports stuff and I would do the production part of the cut vinyl, but most of the screen printing was just done by production only.
Right. So you were doing more like layouts and mock-ups and that kind of stuff?
Lots of dealing with like front of house, like all dealing directly with customers, doing all the graphic design. We do all the graphic design from scratch too. Like rarely would they come in with the design. So we do all of that in house.
Right. How long did you work there before you guys started to do a thing on your own?
It was like 2 years, I think it was, because we've lived like all over the place. So we grew up in Michigan, we moved down to Texas, then we lived outside of Pittsburgh for a while, and that's where I worked at the screen printing company
And where are you guys now exactly?
in Indianapolis.
So you're all over the place.
All over the place. We lived in
That's like
Maine.
half.
Yeah, so when we lived outside of Pittsburgh, I worked there for 2 years, and then Brandon got a job up in Maine. So we lived in Maine through the whole 2020 thing. And we lived there for what? Did we live there for like a year?
Yeah, it was
a
like
year.
13 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we moved. Well, we didn't move automatic, like instantly. We bought an RV and we were going to live the RV life. So then we lived there until it got like way too cold. All the campgrounds shut down. And then we moved down to Tennessee for a little bit, like the Tennessee-Georgia border. And then we're very picky people. And we could not decide where we wanted to live. And Brandon's like, what about Indianapolis? So we just decided to try here. And we've been here ever since, 2021?
Yeah.
I think it was,
Yep.
yeah.
It's kind of nice to have that freedom to just be like, where do you want to live?
Yeah.
No, it was very easy because if you're a good diesel mechanic, you can go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I never took a pay cut. I always ended up making more money. It was awesome.
So how does that diesel mechanic thing work? Is it more just like you're a freelancer and you call a company and say, hey, I can work on your trucks? Or
So I always worked for the dealer. So I worked for Peterbilt or Kenworth the entire time. So it was basically a PACCAR subsidiary is what they call it. But yeah, so I just worked at dealerships. I worked at, well, here it was JX, Chattanooga was MHC. I worked at the Kenworth dealer that I don't remember the name to in Maine. Yeah, I've just always been a dealer tech.
Mm-hmm.
and then you were like, I really need to get out of this. Like you're not doing anything like that now.
No, honestly, it's pretty irritating. I have over $100,000 in tools sitting in my garage and I never even get to look at.
I mean, you do. You just they're not
You
really
see
as
the dirt.
practical.
Right. Yeah, the dirt that's piled on them as I walk past them every morning. That's about it.
So I guess back to I want to start a business, do something else. Tell me about that kind of exploration, because you kind of drifted over it real quick with like,
Yeah.
I want to do wood. And then I did place settings for weddings. There's a big jump there.
Yeah, there is. Yes. So we've owned multiple other businesses. This really wasn't a first thing. We've always been e-commerce of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got burnout bad enough that I was like, I'm done being a tech, I don't want to do that anymore. It was easy to transition. We already had most of the stuff to just go into a different e-commerce field. We knew pretty much that we wanted to get into apparel of some sort. We just didn't know how to necessarily get there because I couldn't afford
of Hailey's background?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it made more sense to, to get her back into something that she knew, because I didn't know it. And I figured we could leverage that to be a lot faster.
Right. And it was something you guys could do together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was part of that too, the e-commerce thing, because you were looking to live the vanner / camp life where you could just do everything from that?
It's more the fact that we don't like people. it's the truth. It's easier to deal with somebody through the internet than it is to have somebody wandering into your business all the time screaming about something that you have no control over.
Yeah, I get that. So then again, like, what was the deciding factor? Because now you guys are established and have a thing going and have a lot of equipment and whatnot. So I'm guessing that leap worked out for you.
Yes, it was a planned path, even though it looks like it was pure delusion the entire time. We started in October of 22, and the entire plan was to get to apparel. We just had to do it step by step by step. And the CO2 laser gave us enough money to get into flatbed printing. Flatbed printing got us a major leap into where we could start really getting into the rolls actually that you see behind us. And then once that took off, it was easy to just basically keep rolling money into everything. So now we have a bigger flatbed now. We just got a new laser. The rolls behind me. I got the Graphtec behind me. The DTF's over there. The new sewing machines are over there. There's equipment everywhere.
Yeah.
But it was all just it was whatever we could get to the fastest, and just happened to be that wooden place settings for whatever reason seemed to be the ticket.
We started, yeah.
That's a weird market. I mean, is it pretty big, I'm guessing, or was that just an opportunity that came across your desk?
it had a very short window of life, and it just happened to be that we ended up in the middle of it, took advantage of it for about a year and a half, and that was pretty much the death of it.
So you say you want to get to apparel, though. You seems to be buying a lot of things that have nothing to do with apparel other than your DTF machine.
Yes. So apparel's always going to be the thing that brings them to you, but it's all the weird little stuff that keeps them buying every month.
Yeah.
It seems, at least for us, we don't get, and we're new to it. It's only been last March.
Yeah, not even a year, I think.
Yeah, so it's been a year. That I would say we've been established enough to be able to do what we started out trying to do. I don't, at this point, it doesn't look like anybody's really going to be, we're not going to get all the big guys who are like, let me keep ordering every couple weeks, every month, even every other month. But it seems to be like we'll get a pocket of firemen or policemen or something like that. And then like, oh, well, did you know that we do tumblers? Did you know that we do keychains? Do you know that we do stickers? And they're like, ooh, we can give some of this stuff away. And then it starts to snowball into, filling in those hills and valleys.
Yeah. And I think like that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk to you guys is just kind of like I've been doing screen printing and embroidery and that market for like 20 years. And basically I've just been offering screen printing for the most part. Like embroidery, I've never really offered until maybe, 2 years ago. But we always get people asking for embroidery because it goes super hand in hand from screen printing to, can I do some polos embroidered? Can I whatever? But that's about the gist of it. Like nothing really else branches off of that unless you offer stuff where it is like the keychains or the tumblers or the promo products or anything like that. So I've always just had the, hey, I need shirts printed thing. And then I dip my toe in the water with the embroidery stuff because again, like we always get, hey, I want 500 shirts, but I need like 10 polos embroidered. Can you do those? So again, I never offered it on the website. I never put it on Instagram or socials or anything like, hey, we do embroidery, but we would get those jobs every so often just because of how hand in hand they go. But recently, the larger companies that I'm trying to deal with are really trying to push some kind of promo, or they have promo that they need for their staff or for these like entry backpack things where it's like, hey, you're a new hire. Here's a backpack of shit. That's like your tumbler, your pens, your pads, your first shirt and all these other things. I more and more get people who want these other things. And again, now I'm saying to people like, oh, we can do these. We can do these things. And that's kind of where I ran into you guys was from Shirt Show. You were like, hey, I want to send you something. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then you send me stuff and it like, no joke. Like I said this to you, but it was like the best sample box I've ever gotten from somebody. Like legit was like, it was, I opened it up and it was like all of these, it wasn't just like you made Jaded shit and sent it to me. You know what I mean? Like I get that all the time where it's like, and I mean, no disrespect to anybody who's ever sent me anything, but I'm just saying like, as far as like trying to win over business, it was something where it was like, you guys took the time to like find some of my customers, got their logos, added them to the tumblers, added them to the keychains, like hats, like all these things. And it wasn't just hats either that was like, oh, we embroidered a thing or we did a DTF on the front. It was like this new patch thing I've never even seen before. And I was like, holy shit, these rule. And then I took those that you gave me and I immediately sent them to those customers and they were like, these rule. How can I get more? And it was like literally ever since then, it's been a spiral of me trying to find customers that I'm like, hey, would you want this service? And we've done a couple projects together now where it's like, hey, we just started kind of talking regularly. And now it's like, hey, I need a quote. I have an order. I have a quote. I need an order. And it's like, that doesn't really happen with other things I've dealt with. So now I'm kind of like, what else do we offer? What do we give out? And I don't know. It's just really cool. Like, I think what you guys did is kind of a test to how to get new business and how to wow people. And I think it's one of those things too that's top of mind for me because I just went to like ThreadX and like the whole conference was about like being intentional and like wowing your clients and going above and beyond for them because of the way the market is now, and it's kind of flat and stale and all these other things. It's like you got to do something to shake it up a little bit, something to stir the pot. And to your guys' credit, you guys did that with me, like right off the bat, of like, hey, I want to show you some shit. And you did. And I was like, hell yeah, this rules. Let's do more of it. So get out of your head a little bit with this and let me know, like, what was the thought process in doing that? And I'm sure you've done that for other people before. Like, what is your approach to doing that?
You want to go?
Look at me. I mean, we've only been in here since like October, and we've already tried with a couple other businesses too, and we've got a very similar response. I mean, you give them items that you can offer with their logo on it, but not just their logo slapped on it. And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we even have like a pizza place that we've gone to here, and he is obsessed with Sasquatch. So we put Sasquatch on a shirt and he lost his mind. He was like, oh my God, it's my logo. Yes, that one. And he lost his mind. He's like, I didn't think that you guys were going to do something like this. So, I mean, you put something, you do just like a little bit of research and find out like more than just slapping their logo on something. And like you said, they appreciate it more.
Yeah, and that was like I said, my thing was like you could have just found the Upstate logo online, put it on a Tumblr, and sent it to me, and I would have been like, "Oh, this is cool. Like, I appreciate it. Like, I'll use it, or someone here will use it." But like, you found logos I didn't even know were on the internet, and like again, like went to some of my customers that I post about or something, and was like, "Oh, let me make this logo work. Let me, like." Color schemes of a hat or something, or even the keychains that you made, like they had thought put into them, is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't just like, oh, we have extra black keychains, let's put a logo on it. It was like, no, like this place is into weird shit and space and like all this, so let's use this like spacey keychain background. Like you guys put so much thought into it, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that's like, it's so awesome. Like that's what we need as an industry right now, is we need these people who are willing to go the extra mile and shake things up.
I mean, we love the fun stuff. We love the weird stuff. We want to put color on everything. And when people send you a logo and it's just like a one color thing, we're like, what if we take it and we do it in a completely different color scheme, completely different, like everything. Like it's way more fun that way. Yeah.
So what is it, I guess, if you want to give me a shortish version, because you have multiple machines now, and getting back to the original story of you having hard ADHD, where you're like, buy a piece of equipment, what is it that you offer now and that you're pushing and trying to offer? And what is like the hot sellers?
And what's been selling since Q4 is those tumblers have been selling like hotcakes. We do a bunch of the specialty colors. We have options that don't just engrave to silver, but we have engraves to gold, engraves to copper. Ghost is really popular, which is like a dark gray color, and then Prism, which is like a rainbow, which is amazing. So people have really been loving like those specialty color options.
Definitely our engraved silver has dropped off, but all the specialties are like, how are you guys doing this? Which gets a little confusing.
That's the same concept of what we're talking about, though, is that everybody's seen just engraved silver, like taking the paint off, basically. Like everybody's seen that. They're like, there's just no wow here. But then even like one of the jobs that we had done recently, or that you had sent me as a sample, was just a white tumbler. But it looked so sharp. It looked so clean. And like the customer that I approached with it, normally like everything they buy is like, oh, it's like name brand, high end. Like we're only buy Yetis, and we have Yeti engrave them and like everything. And then I showed them yours, like, I didn't think I had a shot in hell of them being like, oh, let's do it. And they were like, oh no, we love these. What's the price? Like these are great. And I was like, wow, like they want to do these. And it was crazy. Like, again, like taking that shot, taking that chance made a huge difference.
And it does seem that if you're trying to go, I mean, like you said, if you're going above and beyond, if you're hitting them from a weird angle and something that they haven't seen, which honestly is our biggest issue. Like, if we could just be more visible, we'd make a lot more sales. but it's also kind of a fun game of like, I don't necessarily want to work with everybody. I want to work with the people that are going to let me kind of play and do my own thing. Like money's obviously still important, but it's, you know, I don't want to do the same thing day after day after day. I want to play.
Yeah. Which has, again, been my experience with you so far is it's like, I'll give you an idea and you're like I was just calling you to like spitball the other day about this like thing that I have been wanting to do literally a designer made it for me. I want to say 10 years ago. It was this like create your own Sasquatch upstate merch thing or whatever. And I never known how to do it because it's these like individual arms, legs, torso, head, and you're supposed to be like those old school cardboard like things you put on your door at like Halloween of a skeleton where there's the like, you know, like the pins that hold the shoulders together so you can move the arms, like all this other stuff. And I've been thinking about it, but I'm like, I don't know how to do this. This isn't my world. I don't know. Like, am I going to have to go get some custom dye made and get cardboard and like all this other stuff? I called you and because we were talking about laser stuff and you're like, I was like, hey, I got this thing. I don't know how to do it. And then you were like, oh, I found this. And I was like, all right, cool. Like maybe we could do this. And then the next day you're like, I ordered samples of this. And like, I called this distributor and we can figure that. I'm just like, fuck yes, rules. Like I'm excited. Like I haven't thought about this thing in like 10 years. And it's like, how do we make this? How do we get this done? And again, like I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass, but it's like, that's what people need right now. And like, if you haven't been doing this long enough, like that's something not a lot of people have. They're just, they fall into, I make keychains or I make t-shirts and I whatever. And then that's all they do. Like that's the, you know, customer gives artwork, you put on, you send out. Like, so that fire that you have with that kind of stuff, both of you, like I don't know, it just has inspired me lately to like try new things and do stuff. So A, thank you, but like B, like it's part of your story. So, I guess I need a little more content. I need a little more journey of like, you go from the diesel thing, you buy some stuff and you're where you're at now, but like, what are some like challenges or decisions you've had to make to kind of get you to where you are now?
We made some hard decisions. Even like, what was it like 6 months ago or 9 months ago? We talk constantly, like all day, every day about the same things over and over and over about like, what direction are we going in? What equipment are we buying in the future? Like not tomorrow, but like 6 months, a year from now. Like, I think we had the talk like 6 or 9 months ago where we were almost considering going in the direction of like printed, like paper products and stuff like that too. Like it was like, do we go that route or do we go more apparel? Because like our hats have been doing really well for a while. We do leatherette printed patch hats, but we're like, should we lean more in that direction, add a different process to that, add apparel? Like that all makes more sense. And having to make that hard decision of what direction to go in, you kind of feel like you're missing out on something, but you got to pick one of the directions. So we did end up going down more the apparel route. Which was the original goal. Yeah. But we get sidetracked sometimes. Yeah. So, and a lot of our customers were pulling us in another direction. And it was more a matter of like, when we came to the fork in the road of like, do we stay where we're supposed to be going, where we wanted to go from the beginning, or do we go where the money goes? But the money didn't dictate this one. All
right. Well, let me ask you like a vulnerable question, I guess, is like, why apparel? Like, why is that your end goal?
I would say it's just unlimited creativity.
I mean, it's repeatability though, too.
It is.
You want that repeat customer base opposed to like, we've done a lot of things over the time that we've even been on Etsy where it's been like one-off things. And we have a lot of repeat buyers, but with certain things, they're only going to buy once from you and they're never going to buy again. Like all those people that trend hop all the time, that's the problem with that, is that they're only coming to you to buy once and then they move on to the next thing. Opposed to something repeatable like apparel, they'll come back to you and buy more and more and more and more.
Yeah, but do you not have the same kind of like bulk repeat customers for, say, stickers or tumblers? That might be a little harder, but like, I feel like if you were known for those things, then you would just be like the sticker place or the keychain place or the like maybe even landing pages for each one of these services rather than just one site that has all these things. I don't know. But I'm also looking at this from the apparel side of like, I don't want to discourage you in any way. I'm just trying to have the conversation, but like, I feel like the apparel side of things is so much turmoil right now that it's never had before. Like,
I mean, I can't disagree with that.
I'm just saying, like, I've gone 15-ish years or more of like, oh, this rules. It's the same shit every day. I come in and like, and I mean that in a good way. Like, I come in and there's jobs and we're printing and we're whatever. And then over the last 5-6 years, there's been so much talk of like digital stuff and like heat pressing, and they're still screen printing, obviously, and all these other things. And then the market was weird. And now people are like, there's so much chatter in all the groups that I'm in and everything of like, hey, wouldn't it be cool to sell everything and just buy one press and be the only, be my own boss? And like, I'm the only employee I have. And, or how do I scale it down to where it's just me and a couple people and we're profitable? And like, I'm more and more conversations about becoming way more lean than like growing this side of the business, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And
100%.
I'm not trying to be like pessimistic about all this stuff. I'm just, obviously there's companies that are like thriving and growing and screen printing and all this other stuff. I'm just, maybe from my point of view, the other stuff that you're doing and the stuff that you're offering is more unique. And like maybe a little bit sought after. Not necessarily, it's not a t-shirt and the repeatability or the bigger orders, but still it's like more unique, I would say.
I mean, I think no matter what, with everything that we sell, whether it's tumblers, stickers, hats, whatever, it's the same problem that you guys have. It's all overly saturated. I think that's where a lot of the turmoil comes from, because I think half the people are just screaming of like, oh my God, when's the next order going to come in? Like, well, if you didn't plan for it, unfortunately, if you didn't build a customer base around it, yeah, it's sketchy. But I think if you're planning ahead for it, even though I know planning ahead sounds stupid, especially when everything's up in the air, like you do build your customer base in a certain way. You know, even some of the things that we've talked about, in the last couple of weeks, you can have, a client list of 5,000 numbers or emails or whatever. And you might be like, you know what? I really don't want to deal with all these people. I can narrow this down and I can focus on it. And, then you can start to become very intentional. And I think the biggest takeaway for anything is if everything's saturated or not, in my opinion, I guess, LTV is the only thing that matters. If you can get the most out of the customers that you have, you can eliminate a lot of that scarcity stuff that's going around. And God forbid, don't get on Facebook and look at what those people are talking about, because you'll be in the fetal position crying in the corner.
Yeah. And I think a lot of what we've kind of talked about, the last time we had like an hour conversation or whatever, I called you, I was walking at the lake, and that's usually where I get a lot of my thinking and feelings out. Was just kind of about that. Like, my motivation for this year is to be more intentional, be more, like, why am I doing this for this customer? Or why am I fighting for these other clients when I've got great clients already? Like I was saying to you, I've got a list of, like 6,000 customers or whatever it is, some crazy number. And then as I've been going through, like, manually going through all of these clients and being like, this person's closed, this person's not even interested anymore, this person is awesome, like add them to the list, like going down through, I ended up weeding it down to a couple hundred, like maybe like 600-800 clients where I'm like, these are actually ones I would like to work with again.
Yep.
Out of like, say 6,000, it was like, cool, 800 I would love to just like do all their work and like be consistent with and all these other things, which is good. But I think that, I guess where we could go with this, or where you could get into apparel and everything, is if you guys keep that mindset that you have now with all of it. You know what I mean? Like going into the t-shirts too, of like, well, how can I make this better for you? How do I upscale this for you? How do I make it more unique for you to where they would never want to go anywhere else because you guys have this creative flair behind it where it's not just I submit some artwork and you slap it on and send it back to me.
Well, and that does seem to be a lot of what we're getting too, is we're getting even that pizza place. We just go in there once a week because we eat out every single day, which you shouldn't do. But they got to know Hailey. I don't go in anywhere, but they got to know her, and then they got talking about stuff and whatever else. And the owner started telling her like, oh, well, we're just getting boring stuff. We try to get them to do more. They don't want to do more. They want to turn and burn us. And it's like, well, that's no fun. Like, why do you want to do that all day long? And I get it. If you're stuck in the rut and it's not entertaining for you anymore, I totally get it. Been there. But yeah, the oversaturation and everything else that's going on, I don't think you have a choice. Like, you got to be, like you keep saying, you have to be very intentional with your clients.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing with a lot of these people, though, like the pizza places and the whatever, is like they don't have time to sit down and like figure out designs and logos and like everything else. Like they know they need it. They know in the back of their mind that they need apparel and it would be cool if it looked good. But like most of them, 90% of them are just like, they kind of do a sigh and they're like, fuck, I guess I'll just order shirts. And it's got like a logo on the left chest and a logo on the back. But then when someone walks in like you and is like, let me incorporate your pizza name, like all the things that you're all about and give it to them, they're like, oh my God, like I didn't have to necessarily think about this, but now I want it. And I want a bunch of it. Well,
and that doing stuff like that so far has always turned into more of a conversation. So she had the conversation with them. We made them a promo box, and within a week, we gave it to them.
Yeah.
And then when she delivered it, then the owner wasn't there, but the general manager was. And the first thing she did was grab her by the hand, drag her up the stairs, and start showing her this whole upstairs trivia area that they have. But it has like a bowling alley and a bunch of cool stuff in it. And they're like, we want to wrap this wall and that wall. And like, oh, crap, we don't wrap walls, but I can figure it out.
The next day, you fucking looked at buying one, didn't you?
Hilarious.
This is, it gets better.
So I was talking to my rep like 3 days later, and he just called me and he's like, man, I cannot believe this just happened to me. I'm so mad. I'm like, what happened? And he goes, dude, we had this training coming in. We paid for it. We're out like thousands and thousands of dollars because this guy doesn't want to pay for the material. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then so he explained the whole thing, and I'm like, well, the trainer is here in Indianapolis. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, can I buy him? He's like, you want to buy him? He's like, you don't do any of this. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, how much it's going to cost me? And he goes, just buy a roll of film and I'll cover the rest. I'm like, done. Get him here tomorrow. So we inadvertently got wall wrap training like 3 days later from one of the major manufacturers just because somebody else didn't want to spend $1,000. It was ridiculous. They showed up in the morning. We wrapped a bunch of walls inside of our own building. He showed us all these weird tricks. We printed a bunch of stuff together. They were here for like 9 hours.
But you have equipment to do that. You've just never done it before.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Almost all of our equipment doubles over in some way, shape, or form. I refuse to buy anything that has one sole purpose.
So is that something you're going to try to offer now, or is that something you're just like, for this client, it might work out well, and then we'll test the waters?
Basically, we're going to test it and see what happens. It just kind of depends on where it goes. But it's kind of one of those things. Like, there's a lot of people around us that do a lot of the same stuff, but they're not really playing at the same game. So it's probably a problematic slope, to be honest. We're going to do one wall, and then we're going to do 10,000 square feet. And then the next thing you know, we're going to have an installer on staff, and they'll just
you're going to have a bay to do buses.
Probably.
Exactly.
Now, with that, I mean, the other side of that coin, I guess, is that you two are obviously driven and creative, and it's your business and it's your thing or whatever. How do you scale these kinds of things or grow these kinds of things with other people? Like, is that in your back of your head, or is the plan always to be smaller and intentional where it is just you two doing a lot of these things?
The initial plan was to never grow beyond 5 million a year annually. That seems to be the magic number of where I can justify a good hourly rate for an employee, and I still don't need to have a ton of employees. Because a lot of the stuff we do, it determines whether or not you're buying the most high-end equipment that runs unbelievably fast, or you're trying to buy the mid-grade stuff that I probably need 2 employees as opposed to 1. So most of the stuff that we have bought has been top of the line, just because that way when I get an employee, I don't really have to worry about hiring 3. I can hire 1 and I can pay him better.
And it's more efficient.
Way more efficient.
And it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yes. And at least as of right now, like I can run 4 pieces of equipment simultaneously by myself. Now, granted, I'm running around like an idiot, but
you can handle it.
It's possible.
And we've had a few conversations lately where I've been working at 10 p.m. and then I text you and I'm like, hey, is it okay? And you're like, yeah, I'm working too. It's totally fine.
Still here. Lights are on. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is just kind of like, I don't know. It's just kind of fired me up recently about this intentionality thing. Like, I don't want to keep saying intentionality over and over again, but I think that like I just went on a road trip for a couple of days. Me and Christina went from here to Rochester. Well, like everything's like an hour jump. So like we drove to Rochester, which was like 2 hours, and then we drove from there to Buffalo, and Buffalo to Canada, where we kind of visited some shops. And each one of these are like friends of ours, where it was like we went to Tiny Fish in Rochester, which is Tony. He's been on the show a few times. And seeing his, you know, ideas and plans and new building. And then it's like, well, what are you going to do in this building, and where are you going to put things? And, you know, if I would have went to Tony's 10 years ago and was talking about stuff, it would have been just like, oh, screen printing's growing. We're going to add 4 more presses here. We're going to do this, whatever. And now it's like, nope, I have this building, and specifically in this area is going to be these, you know, all this digital stuff. And like, this is going to be fulfillment, and this is this thing. And it's like, it seems so much more like I have a plan, and this is how it's going to go. Rather than when we were all younger, it was just fucking yee-hoo, like shoot from the hip. Like, let's just fucking like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, it's like, it's not the Wild West with people as much anymore. It's more, how do we make a real plan and a real strategy and figure out employees or where we want to be? Like, a statement you just said is something not a lot of business people when they're starting out say, of like, oh, I want to cap this at 5 mil. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, it's more like to the stars, like fucking, oh, we're going to do 100 mil and we're going to
be rich. Jeff Bezos better move over.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to say,
yep.
To say I'm going to cap it at, say, 5 employees and it's going to be $5 million and we're going to live our life and be happy and go home at 5 o'clock is not the normal route people think about. They think about growth, where what I'm trying to say is I think it's very, very smart of you to have that plan and know what you want, because most people don't have that plan. They just kind of shoot from the hip until they get to where it's like, oh shit, let's step it back.
Right.
Rather than like intentionally go in this direction and never have to do the step back process.
Yeah. Well, and the step back process is painful. Like, I've watched people do it so many times, but yeah, I think we talked about it. And the very first message I ever sent you was actually a book called Exitpreneur. And I think that everybody should be forced to read that book, because it makes you intentionally think about how your business is going to be structured. Because I'm guilty of it. I owned an audio shop years ago, and it was fairly successful, but it was exactly that. It was the Wild West. We were building crazy shit. I was dealing with a lot of people that I shouldn't have been dealing with, but the main problem was just that I had no clue where I was going. And when it came down to it and the trend kind of died off and everything went haywire, I was sitting on a mountain of problems. So it was never that whole book's about how to basically set up your business to sell it, whether you're going to sell it or not. At least if something goes wrong, you can sell it because you've already structured it that way. And I never did that. Horrible choice.
Was that like a lesson learned? I'm getting out of this business and I'll do something else? Or, I mean, obviously you're not still doing it.
Right. Well, it's actually a very, very long story, but, I ran that for 5 years. We did crazy powerful cars. We basically just did base competitions all the time. And a shop in Texas actually bought my business out, and I went down there to work for them. So it was kind of a weird lifeline.
Yeah. And then you went from there to diesel mechanic. Or was
Yes.
that all around the same time?
Really, I never stopped. I never stopped turning wrenches. I even did it when I was down there. We didn't live there very long. I could not stand Texas. I couldn't afford it anyway. Like
Yeah,
I was still
expensive.
making, it was 2014. I was still making like $70,000-$80,000 a year, and I was broke. I'm like, no, this isn't for me.
Yeah, it's funny how there's, I don't know, we've talked about this many times before, but it's like part of that intentionality too is like, where are you located and is it feasible for you to do the thing you want to do in that place? And you guys had made that decision at one point of like, well, where should we live? Like, I'm sure in that thinking of Indy or whatever, you decided as kind of like, well, what's the cost of living like? What's the, if I want to buy space or whatever, what's that look like? You can't just pick a random place and go do this business there and find out that you're spending, $20,000 or something a month on rent for a building. It's not going to work.
Nope.
What did you guys end up doing with space wise? Like, where are you now and how's that working out?
We actually got very, very lucky. We looked for probably, I would say, at least a year, and we couldn't find anything. And we just kept coming up basically with like old medical facilities. So we had to like gut the places, and it was going to be $50,000 before we even got to get into a place. But the shop that we're in now is it's off Gasoline Alley, so it's where they used to have all the race cars and stuff back in the day. But this shop was the add-on, and I don't remember the name of the race team, but it was actually a race team shop. They built it for themselves, and it's just a big open rectangle basically, but it's very well lit, it's clean, and it's perfect.
And you guys are happy there. And I'm guessing you have walk-ins or anything, or is it more?
No.
You said you didn't want to deal with people, so
Nope.
I mean, we've had a couple people pick up that are local, but
Yeah.
for the most part, we're like, 95% online, I would say.
Yeah, and that's being generous. It's probably more like 90,
It's probably
98.
closer to 98, 99. He's the numbers guy. I'm not the numbers person.
We'll talk on this numbers thing a little bit. Like, you seem to kind of like to do the research and whatnot. How do you approach, say you're talking to me and be like, these are the numbers you should look into. These are the things that you should do. What would you say to somebody?
You mean just like overall, I guess? Because I mean,
overall, because that's the thing. All right, let me put it this way. Like, I'm, again, about 20 years into this thing, and I'm just now starting to keep track of all of my numbers, like my expenses, my income month to month. I could say my percentage this month over last month or over last year or over 10 years ago. Just all kinds of metrics, like, Bill's doing numbers on like how long it's taking to do jobs. And we're trying to get data on everything right now. And it's like, I really wish I would have started out this way. Or like you said, like the numbers and the metrics on like where you are, what you're doing, what kind of expenses you get into, like all of it. This stuff is so important, and I'm just now doing it because it was fucking like, I'll admit on here, I've a million times over, I've been Wild Westing it for so long, and it's worked. Like, we're a good business. Like, we're doing great. But the problem is like at some point you need to know this shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I know full well the disappointment in the eyes of my accountant, my CPA, whatever you want to call him, when he has to deal with me. You know what I mean? Because for so long, I've been like, treat me like a 2-year-old. I will pay your weekly fee. Just do whatever the hell you got to do to make it work for me. And I can tell, I can see their soul leave their body. You know what I mean? Of like, I'll do it. It's the job, but fuck, why don't you learn any of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was in here the other day, and I showed him all of this stuff I've been doing, and I could literally like see joy coming into him. Like, he's a younger dude. Like, we get along, like we shoot the shit and like whatever, but still, it's like, he doesn't want to say it to my face, but I know he's like, find a fucking Lee, dude. Like, why have you not been doing this? So what do you do anyway? Like, again, being on your side of things, what do you keep track of?
I'm slightly spoiled because coming from the position that I was at, being a diesel tech, everything's efficiency, which I will say this, and I will get slaughtered for saying this. I do not know enough about lean but I refuse to learn about lean because it seems like the poor man's efficiency game. Like, it drives me up a wall for the little bit that I know. Like, everything about being a mechanic comes down to efficiency. All your bonuses, all your pay scale, everything. And so you have to know it. You have to know that you need to do 6 oil changes versus 1 motor to, make X number of bonus every month. You start to learn that stuff. But if I was going to talk to somebody who was just trying to start out, the number one thing you need to know is you need to sit down and you need to know every stupid thing you pay for every month. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Netflix. I don't care if it's for the bakery down the street because you buy cookies once a week. It doesn't matter. You need to know it. And just that's your fixed cost. And I believe and I'm going to get his last name wrong, but is it Kevin Baumgart?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Gardner? Okay.
No,
I always want to add the end of that to his name. I don't know why. But you need to know your overall number, and then you need to break it down based on the actual days that you work. So ours is very, very simple. I take the total number that it costs me every single month. I divide it by 30 days because we're ridiculous and we work 7 days a week. And then I break that down to the day, and then I break it down to the hour. And then I know every single time that a machine turns on, it needs to be making at least X number of dollars. In my case, I will tell you, I do not do anything for less than $184 an hour. Which if we really broke it down is probably low on some stuff, but it's also probably drastically higher than what a lot of people think they're making.
But like I said, I think to a degree, like, there's a lot of smart people I know out there, and there's a lot of good business people that are doing this and they're whatever, or they do it in some capacity, but there are a lot that aren't doing anything. They're like, hey, I got into screen printing t-shirts or embroidery or whatever, and I'm just sitting every day hoping jobs come in. I'm praying that this happens, and I'll take this money and I'll pay the bills, I'll pay the people, and then I'll just do it again the next day. Which is, again, like the whole point of this show and me talking to people is like, I'm learning from my mistakes too. And I'm trying to convey to some people like, hey, like, this fucking matters. Like, this is a real thing. And I've talked about it a bunch. I don't know how much I want to get into it because I don't want to beat a dead horse with it, but it's like the first 4 months or whatever of me doing the Excel sheet of, like you said, like everything I buy, I put on that first month, everything that was an expense or something I got, or it was a monthly recurring payment or whatever, I put on a sheet. And then at the end of that month, I was like, wow, I got auto charged 10 times for this thing. Why do I have this? Why do I have 10 of them?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, there's so many things I found in month 2 where I'm like, okay, these were all repeats, but this is another thing. This is a new thing. Like, why am I paying this for this? And then 3 months in, you're like, all right, let me start making some calls because these numbers are starting to be very consistent. And it's like, like even from my Verizon bill or whatever, it was like $550 a month. And I was like, why am I spending $550 on Verizon? And I looked and I had like a couple extra plans on there where I was paying like for watches to have cell service, and my daughter's watch has been missing for like a year. And it's like, there's certain things, and I'm just like, okay, this can go away, this can get taken off, and all these other things. And then I find out that T-Mobile is doing pretty much the exact same thing as Verizon, plus giving me like 4 brand new phones that I can trade in every year. And they're giving away Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and like all these. Yep. I do the whole thing. I end up spending $240 a month for T-Mobile versus my $550 I was spending Verizon. And I get 3 TV subscription services that now I don't have to pay on my personal side of things. And I get 4 new phones every year. Like, what am I? These are things, as stupid as that sounds, these are things that with every single thing in your business, you can look at and be like, how can I save money here or get more value out of the same thing I'm already doing? Like calling Spectrum and just being like, hey, I'm spending $150 for internet. And they're like, oh, well, right now we're running a thing where you can do internet, landline, and 1 cell phone for $60 a month. And I'm like, so I get a landline and a cell phone for half of what I'm paying now. They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do that. Like, you know what I mean? It's just stupid shit. Yep. And then there's other things too. That's just like, okay, well, I don't need this anymore. This isn't necessary.
Yes.
And again, my shoot from the hip mentality for so many years was just like, oh, well, I'll see a service or something like a vectorizer service, and I'm like, oh, it's $10 a month. I'll sign up for it, and I'll just do like auto pay $10 a month, and then I'll realize like, why do I still have this? I'm not using this or whatever, and then I just realize that I'm wasting thousands and thousands of dollars a year on all this stupid shit that I don't even need or use. There's no intentionality, is what I'm trying to say. That's why like that word should be tattooed on my forehead right now. Is I'm just winging it every day. And then in years go by, you're like, okay, there's a lot of shit that you just were winging all over the place. And how do we clean this up?
Right. Well, everything needs to be examined like that, especially, and my insurance guy hates me. If you're dealing with an insurance guy though, and he's like State Farm or Allstate, get rid of him, get a broker. I've always had a broker. I don't pay anything for anything. Like our car bills are both full coverage, and I think I spend $702 a year on both cars.
Yeah.
Our business stuff is less than $500 a year. You can make them go over it, and this is why my guy hates me. Every 6 months, he has to check it. If he doesn't check it, I will get rid of him, and I will get somebody who will. And he's just like, why? He's like, I can't get you a better price. I'm like, yes, but in the next 6 months, you might be able to. Like, I just don't want to keep paying for things I'm never going to use.
Right. Insurance is a tough one for me. I mean, luckily I'm on your side with that, like the broker thing. Like my broker is my sister-in-law. So like she'll go to bat for me, and she'll look for stuff or whatever. But it's like before her, I was getting like severely taken advantage of for a lot of things. And I could go to her and be like, how are these places going to screw me? And I would be intentional with, well, if I pay X amount more, I am fully covered and I'm not going to get in trouble and all these other things, which ended up happening. Like the original one that we were going to go with was like, if the entire building doesn't burn to the ground, you will not get you'll get like a partial payment, and it won't be really worth anything, but the building will be basically garbage. So you're going to be at a loss. Yep. And then and she told me that, and I was like, okay, well, how much was it more to pay to get this? Or if anything happens, it's all fully covered. And she gave me that number, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Like, again, you might not be saving money necessarily on certain things, but at least I know peace of mind. If something burns, I'm covered. Like I would almost rather that than be like, okay, I'm going to pay, and it's going to be a crapshoot whether I'm going to get paid or not.
Right. Well, and that's umbrella coverage is a glorious thing. Completely side note, but when we lived in Ohio, we had a pond, and the local kids would not stay off of it. And I had an umbrella policy. If any of them drowned, basically, that it would cover me. Like $3 million, like $13 a year. Money well spent.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nobody ever drowned. But,
$300 you hide the body. Like there's a threshold here of like, do we tell the authorities, or do we just pretend this kid never existed?
Everything though, you do need to look over. Goofy example, but even when we moved in here, I asked them before we moved in, how much is internet? It's the only thing I need. I don't need a landline. I don't need anything else. I just need the internet. And she's like, oh, it's like $70. I'm like, cool. I got my first bill. It was $320. I'm like, we have a problem. She's like, well, I don't know. That's just what it's always been. I'm like, well, you got to look into it because I'm not paying it. You told me 70. I'm not paying 320. She looked into it. Come to find out, I was paying for like 3 landlines and 2 fax lines. I'm like, I'm not using any of this. No. And she's like, we'll get it taken care of. And now I pay like $44 a month.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the things with Spectrum, is like they had some plan I was on where I was paying for like Spectrum TV or something. And I'm like, I never have used it ever. I have no TV plan. I'm just doing internet. They're like, well, that was some weird deal you were doing and it was cheaper at the time. I was like, I don't care, whatever. But anyway, back to kind of what you guys are offering and what you're selling and what you're doing. Some of it seems like if we just told our industry and told the listeners of this podcast, you guys like did laser engraving on tumblers and you did keychains and whatever, to me, that sounds like a shitty way to describe what you guys are doing, because you are doing way more than that, in my opinion. You're doing more of like an elevated version of those things. Can you kind of talk through that a little bit of like what you're picking, what you're choosing, what you're doing? Again, like even the hat you have on is a sample you sent me. And that's something I've never even seen or held before, where to me, I was like, what is this? I don't even know what to call it. And what was funny about that is that this large client that I have, the one that we've been going back and forth on with things, they were here 2 days before I got those hats. And then she came back like a week later and I showed her those hats because I came to you and I was like, hey, she wants these done. I'm not sure what this is. And you're like, oh, I got the thing. And like you made them and it was like, they ruled. Like they were so much cleaner than whatever the person before did. Because the person before did what? Do you think you thought it was like a leather engraved thing?
Yep.
But it was really fuzzy. Like whatever they did wasn't clean looking. It was kind of jagged looking and it was rough. And then yours were like totally different thing, but they were like super clean and crisp.
Yep. Yeah. Printed versus engraving definitely makes a big difference, but
especially
definitely in what you sent me, I mean, not to be way deep in the weeds, but their LPI was totally wrong on it. So they were too gapped apart. If they would have pulled the line distance down, it would have been a lot better.
So again, can you describe some of the things that you're offering that are a little different?
I'll take this off. So like, there we go. There's the line. Yeah. It's just it's a full print. If it's a full print leatherette patch with spot gloss. So we basically just print everything on our UV flatbed. And because we have UV, we can do spot gloss, so we can amplify certain parts, we can raise certain parts, we can make it feel almost like braille.
And that's all in the art prep process that Hailey you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's lately that has been the big thing. Everybody has been stopping like getting a certain color leatherette. They just get a full color background because then they can make it anything they want. They can make it match their brand logo. They can make it match something really weird. They can do all kinds of fun monochromatic things. And then the spot gloss has really just become the new thing of like, well, I just want to add that on this piece and that piece. And in this case, it's obviously a taco. And, I just want the tomatoes to shine. Okay, cool.
And a lot of people, we've been like, they'll send us their logo or the design that they want. And we've been like kind of trying to push them in the direction of spot gloss. It's like, you're not really going to know until you see it in person how much you like it. Like I can show people pictures all day, but until you get it in person, you're not really going to know how like much of a wow factor that spot gloss is.
Yeah. And I noticed that when you sent me the samples, like that's something I wouldn't even have thought of before. And then the fact that like, even with the project we did, I think it was intentionally going to be like matte or whatever. And then we were like, well, what if we do spot gloss over the letters and it would make this pop and make a difference? It was a lot. And you guys are doing a lot of the keychains and stuff too. Can you describe, I guess, like what what UV printing is for the people who don't know?
Do you want me to take it? Okay. UV printing is basically just it's just it has UV lamps on it, and it's the type of an ink that when the UV lamps go over it, it cures it. So as soon as you take it off, you can instantly touch it, move it around. It's not going to hurt anything. So we can go literally from the print bed to the laser cutter back to the production table, and I can start ringing and bagging everything. There is no time delay.
Very fast process.
Yeah.
And this flatbed printer that you're doing, is that where you just buy like giant sheets of acrylic and you're printing directly on the acrylic?
Yep. Yeah, I normally buy 20, 30 sheets, maybe a 4x8. And then our guy that we buy it from, he cuts it down to 2x4 sheets. We print a full 2x4 sheet. A full sheet goes in the laser, and we can get like, depending on the size, anywhere between like 300 and 500 keychains on one of those.
Ton on one of those sheets, because most of them are 2-inch. So you can fit a lot on that size.
That's what I mean, is like, I feel like
it's
when the reason why I was saying for you to describe what you guys are doing is like the average print shop goes out and buys a laser. Like, like I don't even know what size. I'm not into lasers, but I'm just saying like you'll go to a show and buy a laser that's, maybe like 4 feet wide or something. And they're like doing like little leather patches where they're just doing the engraving, or they're doing like a tumbler. That's like what we were saying. Like, it's just like a silver, like just taking the paint off or whatever. You're not doing that. You're doing 10 steps above those things.
Trying to.
Right. So,
Yeah, I mean, most of our keychains are on clear. I would say 90%.
A lot of them.
The other 10% is white or black usually. For like our logo keychains that people buy in massive bulk.
Mhm.
But you can do those in a matte finish or a gloss finish, and the gloss finish sells like crazy. But we do really anything you want on those. I mean, we can do spot gloss on those too, and really give them a really cool, dimension to them. We can do double-sided. So that way, you can do a QR code on one side, you can do just your logo on the other side. We've done all kinds of goofy stuff like that, especially the bachelorette parties.
The 2x4 sheets, then, are you just printing one side and then flipping it over and printing the other side?
Nope. It's actually printed all on one side. So
we print a layer of color ink, and then we do the white in between to block it out, and then we put another layer of color on top. So it's like one side's going to be, you'll see the glossy part of the acrylic with the print because it's on the back side. It's in reverse. And then the top part will be matte because our ink is matte.
It's wild. It's just not my world. Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I called you the other day and said what I say to my accountant, like, treat me like a 2-year-old and describe these things to me. So what does your guys' day-to-day look like? What is, I mean, apparently you work 7 days a week, but like, what does an average day look like for you guys as far as workflow and process?
It kind of depends. Like today was a mess, but most days we'll come in, we'll usually on the ride in because we live 45 minutes away from the shop. We will talk all about what's going to happen for the day, and we'll kind of figure out a flow of like, okay, we're going to start with the flatbed. We're going to do all the hats first. Then we're going to do the keychains. While the keychains are cutting, we're going to go over the galvo. We're going to start running tumblers. As the tumblers are running, I can swap out the flatbed, kind of stuff like that. Normally we try to do stuff in batches though. Like today was a little bit of everything, but normally I'll try to do the flatbed and like the DTF together, and then I'll do the flatbed and the roll to roll together, and basically kind of flip flop stuff. But because they run so ridiculously fast now, even the other day when we were doing the wall wrap class, we were wrapping the walls, but the roll to roll is over there, doing its own thing, and it ran for like 3 or 4 hours while they were here just printing new stuff. Yeah, just going along. Nobody's paying no attention to it.
While we were doing the wall wrap class randomly in the middle of a workday. Can you describe to me a little bit about because you mentioned that you were doing like onesie twosie kinds of things for like Etsy. Now, how much of that is your guys' business versus going out and discovering more bulk clients?
It's mostly because we don't have minimums on a lot of things right now. So like our keychains, we sell a lot of onesie twosies. It's been in like the past like maybe 6 months too. Like we've been getting a lot of larger bulk orders come in, and a lot of repeatable people come in. I mean, even that girl that ordered tumblers today, she's got 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, and she keeps coming back for more to buy more of that stuff. Like we do have a lot of big bulk orders that come back. But we still definitely, we don't cater to the onesie twosie, but it's okay because we offer it.
Now, in that vein, do you like the onesie twosies? Because, well, nobody likes doing one keychain, probably. But you're charging a premium for it, right?
Yep.
Yes,
absolutely.
Definitely. They pay a lot more for one.
Is it kind of nice having that side of the business where you can do the onesie twosies? Because you're making, like, if you were doing apparel and it was like an Etsy thing and you sold one shirt, like people are selling shirts for like $45, $50 or something. Are you like, cool, I'm happy to make one because I can do it in house? Like, that's the thing for me. Like, if someone came in and was like, I want 5 keychains, I'd be like, fuck, I got to find a place who's going to make me 5 keychains. Or I would just say, no, like, we don't do it. Like, it's not even something I want to work with. You guys are like, cool, 5 keychains, like zip, zap, zoom, made a couple keychains and charged them, I don't know, like a premium for it. Like, are you happy with that side of the business where it's like, I don't care if you order one, I'm getting paid 10x for it. Who gives a shit? I hope you guys are enjoying this episode so far. If you can take 2 seconds, it would mean the world to me. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. It means the world, helps the show grow. Thank you. Enjoy. See you.
Yeah. It'll probably never go away, but it's never, ever going to be the focus, especially now. No. I mean, the only thing that is cool about it is that we can stack them up. So if we do a 2x4 sheet of acrylic on the flatbed, there might be 40, 50 orders on that that are onesie twosies, and then one big order that's, 200 and something.
Something like that. Yeah, we did that the other day.
most of that has to be in your time, Hailey, then if you're laying out that sheet. It's not just like step and repeat pattern. It's like, oh, let me drag in this logo. Let me drag in this logo. Let me drag in this logo. Is that how that is?
That's why it kind of does suck. Because like when they send us one logo, like some I will vectorize, some are just perfectly fine. I can put a clipping mask on it, do what I need to do the contour around it. It's fine. But usually it's not that bad. Or if it's like that crazy and it's like you're getting one keychain, cool, it's going on a circle or it's going on a square. So that's super easy. And it doesn't usually take that much time. We have so many tools to work with digitally that it makes our lives a lot easier.
Yeah. And you have all the new stuff too now that's like upscaling people's dog shit.
We get so many photos that need to be upscaled. We get so many ChatGPT logos that need to be upscaled or fixed in some way. It's overwhelming.
Do you have a good upscaler that you like? That's something that like I'm trying to find a new one now because the one we were using seems to A, only work half the time well, or B, now I'm finding that it's like adding elements in that are like really creepy looking. And I don't know why.
When it comes to graphics, I have not found one that I really like. I mean, like Photoshop can do some stuff, but some things it just doesn't cooperate with me properly.
Photoshop seems to be the worst for me when it comes to like any kind of generative anything. Like it's the weirdest, creepiest.
Yeah.
I haven't tried their beta upscaler yet.
I've tried it a handful of times. It depends on what you throw in there. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it does some really weird shit. But I think it depends if it's a photo, is it a graphic? Like it really depends. For photos though, we have used Topaz. I don't know if have you ever heard of Topaz? I think
that's what I have. Yeah.
Okay. Because that with photos does a phenomenal job. We don't get a ton of photos that need a lot of upscaling. Usually photos that need upscaling, I'll just send through Photoshop and it's fine. They're really not that bad. The nice thing is that
if you're just doing a keychain, it doesn't really have to be that big. Like I remember back when I was doing buttons all the time, it was like I didn't care really if someone sent me somewhat shitty artwork because it's only going to be an inch big.
Yeah.
Like even if I have to make it a little bit bigger or just like kind of scale it on my own, like by the time it's printed and it's an inch big, you're never going to know if it's slightly pixelated or not. But obviously you want to make it as quality as possible, but still like having those tools is kind of nice.
Yeah. Not putting it on a big banner. I mean, if you're putting it on something like that, that's a little bit more complicated. I don't like doing that.
Yeah. Okay. So the onesie twosie thing's kind of figured out. And we also figured out you guys don't like to talk or deal with human beings in real life. What is the method of growth? Because one of the other things that I really like about you guys is your attention to detail and approach with social media, because you take the time to lay out painstakingly, by the looks of it, all these keychains and take photos of them.
I don't have OCD.
Yeah, one of you does hard, if not both of you.
I love symmetry. I love laying stuff out and making it look just so. I love that stuff. I think it's so fun.
It's very to other people who like that OCD, like the patterns of everything. Like that's what I love about your guys' Instagram is it's like, oh, we did these keychains, and they're like, it's not like 3 laid out. It's like fucking 100 of them, and they're like perfectly laid out. And I'm just like, oh, I like this. I like this picture. Like, I like how this is done. So A, kudos to doing that, but B, like, are you seeing customers coming from those kinds of things?
I mean, we get a handful.
Yeah. I mean, we really don't have anybody that follows us on Instagram, to be honest.
Media just doesn't know, like, the people aren't paying attention. I'm not doing it right. I'm not saying I'm an expert by any means. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just throwing stuff out there to be like, this is what we do.
Well, the thing is, the reason why I brought this up, I can't remember who I was talking to about it. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were asking me about leads or Instagram or something. And I was saying that for me, for years, like that's how I started with social media stuff, like MySpace and Facebook and so on, Instagram and whatever. And Instagram used to be, I would say 5-6 years ago, was like our number one way of getting sales. Like it was like
Yeah.
every time we posted, we would get DMs being like, I want to order shirts. I want to order shirts. That is so rare now. Like we get a lot of business from Instagram right now, but it is solely from reaching out to people. Like we used to not have to reach out to people. It was just people hitting us up being like, oh, I saw this print of whatever. I want to order shirts. That almost never happens anymore, like ever.
Yeah.
So if we didn't approach people on Instagram, then we probably wouldn't get business from Instagram at all.
Yeah.
Which is where the reason why I'm asking you or talking to you about this is the discussion I was having was I said, fuck the algorithm, like whatever, a year ago, where I was like, literally Instagram for me at this point, because we've been doing it for so long, is just a portfolio website.
Yeah.
Like it is just a credibility source of look at the work we've done, look at the stuff that the videos that we take of what we're making and how we're doing it. Sometimes we'll post fun stuff, but that's just more because we got bored and we made a funny thing. But in general, there's no intentionality behind it for the most part of like, well, we're going to do this for likes. We're going to do this because we need to get X amount of posts this week. Like most of the stuff that we're posting now is just like, okay, this was a cool print. Let's do a photo of it. And then let's do a video of it. And then let's do like maybe a behind the scenes thing of it. But that's just more of, like I said, like the portfolio of like, this is how this gets created kind of thing. But what I'm saying to you is like your beautiful posts that aren't just like, here's a picture of a keychain. It's like this laid out, like aesthetically pleasing thing. If you build up that page enough with all the things that you guys are offering and how like legit and fucking like beautiful they look, I feel like if you were to hit people up and say like, hey, do you need keychain, stickers, tumblers, all these other things, like your Instagram is going to have the credibility and the aesthetic that they're looking for to be like, I want to work with you. And again, like we've over the last 3 years, especially you were talking about Kevin, like tried all these different forms of outbound of like, okay, well, the first thing was going to be like email, phone call, LinkedIn, Instagram, phone call, what, you know, all these 8 points of contact or whatever. After doing that for so long, we've cut out like 6 points of contact, and like our number one source of like fresh leads is Instagram. So like our first thing we do is hit them up on Instagram. And then if we hear back, cool. If we don't, maybe we send them an email. And then the next thing is, okay, let's look them up on LinkedIn or whatever. But like most of our leads stop at Instagram, where they reach out and they're like, oh, we love your stuff. We checked out your page. You know, these are really cool. I would love to maybe get some design work or get a, you know, we need t-shirts or whatever. And then that instantly goes into the system of like, cool, let's hit these people up. Let's email them, call them, whatever. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like with your guys' stuff, you should maybe allocate a certain amount of time a day to, I'm going to reach out to people, especially people that are like offshoots of what we do or whatever, because it's like a lot of these companies aren't offering what you have.
And it seems to be, it's like hard to get a hold of some people. And I'm going to say the digitizers ruin that. Because if you call somebody and you say you're from so-and-so, they're immediately like, I'm not buying your shit. Like, wait a minute, wait, I swear to God, I speak English. Leave me alone. Let me talk.
Yeah. You get it.
It's terrible.
But that's the thing. It's hard because you talk to some of these people and they're like, no, phone calls still work. And, you know, emails still work. And emails kind of sometimes. But I feel like more of the social stuff or like the LinkedIns or the, like I said, Instagram kind of is more direct and personal to them. Or like if you get into somebody's comments about something or whatever, that you tend to like get noticed, you know, like even something as stupid, like me and Christina went to one of our favorite, you know, whatever is Matty Matheson. Like I watch all his videos. I watched him for forever. I have a bunch of his stuff. Like I have, you know, pepper mill grinder and like salt thing, and I have his oven mitts and I have his books, and I just like watching him, but I also like what he makes. Awesome. And we went to House of Parma when we were in Canada. Like for us, it was like, this is where we want to go. This is like one of our directives of this trip is to go there. And we went, and no joke, it was like the best Italian food both of us have ever had. And Christina was like, it was the best Italian I've ever had. And I've been to Italy. Like, you know, it was like, it ruled. But anyway, like to the point, it was just 2 random people. And we posted, you know, and Christina posted something about it and tagged them, and they like responded. And it was like, You know what I mean? It's like, even that was just something stupid, but it gets you in the door to start a conversation. Like, she could have probably went off the thing with it and been like, we wouldn't do this, by the way, because we know who prints their stuff. Like, they're friends of ours. So we won't do it. But I'm saying, like, that alone is something to be like, I love your brand. I love what you guys do. But also, like, I do this and I make these things. Like, I would love the opportunity to, like, especially with you guys, be like, I would love the opportunity to send you guys a care package. And the way that you guys put together these care packages, I bet would blow the fucking doors off. So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe do that. Like, do that approach. Like, start hitting people up on there. You're going to spend a shitload of money in fucking product packages, but still, but if you're getting clients out of it, then it's worth it.
Who cares?
I mean, you got to look at the ROI on that. I mean, it's not putting out that much money, and everybody seems to freak out about it. And I was talking to somebody the other day about it. They commented how nice our tumblers looked. And I said, yeah, I said, but you're not seeing the fact that I purposely ruined 70 of them to dial in these settings. And he's like, oh, no, I'm like, it's $500. Like, it's fine. It's just, it's a cost of doing it.
So many people are blowing so much money on like Google ad space or fucking Facebook or whatever it is. And it's like, I would rather spend that money on a tumbler and the shipping and the keychains and the hat or whatever you're going to do intentionally for that customer than to just be like, oh, every other day I'm putting $200 into Facebook ads or something. Like, again, like, don't come at me if that's what you do. Like, I get it. If it's working for you, cool. I'm just saying, like, I think I would rather spend that money intentionally on specific people that I'm talking to or want to talk to.
Well, if you watch that video that I sent you the other day, the guy that does bar rescue, I have no idea what his name is, John something. He doesn't spend money on advertising for his businesses, which of course he's world famous. He doesn't need to, but it's the fourth. By the time you get somebody in your restaurant the fourth time or the third time, you have.
I know exactly the video you're talking about, where he's like, the first time they come in, you ask them if it's their first time, you put down the red napkin or whatever, and then they know, hype it up and give them the best experience. And then the next time it's like, what was his thing of like the percentage of if they're going to be a dedicated person that shows up, it's after like 4 times or something?
Yeah, it was at like 72%, I think, after the third visit is the likelihood they'll come back for the fourth and continuously come back.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the first one, it's only like 20-some%. Like, if you don't do anything the first time and the food's phenomenal, you only have a 20% chance of them coming back.
Yeah.
Like, and he broke it down in a really awesome way, because he was talking about how it cost him $8 for 3 visits. And he said, comparatively, my competition is spending $1,200 for you to come back that 4th time. He's like, I spent $8. He's like, I got you dead to rights. You like it, you're going to come back, and it cost me no money.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole point of kind of what I'm trying to say is with this intentionality and like wowing people and spending the time with each new client or, you know, potential client, or just every time they visit, makes such a huge difference nowadays, because anybody can go anywhere for anything.
Yep.
You know, there was that big client that I've been talking to you about. Like, she was in here yesterday, and I was talking to her about one of the things that me and you were talking, like I guess I can say it was the business card holder. Remember how we went back and forth on that so many times? She was like, oh, but we really want this one. She's like, well, if you can't get it, like, if you can't get this one, I'll just order it from 4 Imprint or whatever. And I was like, fuck, like, that sucks. That sucks to be like, let's make this and this. And then instantly, if like you can't provide the one thing that they want or need, they're like, well, I'll just order it from 4 Imprint.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not like, it's not like I'll bend a little bit or let's do this. It's just more, they want what they want. And if they don't get it from me, they're going to go somewhere else.
Right.
And it's like, shit, like, what if I don't deliver on any of these other things? And they're just going to go somewhere else. Like, they want what they want.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, if it's specifically that thing, if it's not that much different, then I would start to make an argument of like, well, let me just give you a sample. Like, it's fine. We'll just make you a sample. You can look at it, you know?
Yeah. She's like, well, I think the reason, I don't know, it's just dumb, whatever, but she came in and she's like, well, one of my people said that it looks like the front facing shot of it. She's like, oh, it looks like a kid's Velcro wallet. And I was like, yeah, it's probably just from the picture though. I was like, but it's like leather and thick leather and it's metal on the inside. And she's like, yeah, just the initial photo just looked like a cheap kid's wallet or whatever. And I was like, that's not what this is though. Like, and then I tried to show her from the side and she was like, oh, maybe I can get a sample or something. I don't know. And I was just like,
well, you should have told her that we could have made it look like a Velcro wallet. We could have put the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo on it. Whole 90s throwback.
Right. We should do that. But the thing is I told her, I was like, hey, like, I know you were, because she sent me those photos and you mentioned it. And then after you mentioned it, I just took the name off of what she was looking for. And I went to 4imprint and they had them all there. And then I looked and it said that one was fully out of stock. So I was like, haha, bitch. Like, you can't get it even if you want it. No, that's it. But anyway, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just, even in one of the text groups that was going yesterday, like some of the best printers I know were saying like anymore, it's kind of, they want what they want. And if they don't get it, they'll just go to the next person. And I feel like more and more now it's like customer service is more important than anything. Like it's not necessarily the product. I'm not saying do shitty quality. That's not what I'm saying. Right. I'm just saying that like they want a shirt or they want a mug or they want a keychain and they want whatever it is they want. And if they can't get it from you, they are going to get it somewhere else. And I think the only loyalty you're going to get anymore is if somebody goes to your company because they like talking to Brandon or Hailey or me or whatever. Like that's the reason why they stick around. That's the reason why they'll be like, I could get this somewhere else, but Dylan's a friend of mine and I don't want to let him down. You know what I mean? Like that I feel like is the only hook we have in people anymore. We don't have the, oh, well, I make t-shirts. It's like, cool. There's a million fucking places that make t-shirts.
Right. Yeah. Everybody ships 6 days a week. It doesn't make anybody special, unfortunately.
And then there's stuff like Amazon merch and like all this other stuff where it's like on demand and, oh, I can get it tomorrow. Why do you take 2 weeks when I can get it in 3 days? Like, I'll just get it from the person in 3 days. It's like, they're not going to hear you when you say like the quality is different and this is going to be different. And like, it's not whatever. They're like, I don't give a shit. I can still get shirts.
Right. Yep. And unfortunately, they don't know the difference.
No.
We deal with that all the time. My rep constantly tells me, stop being picky. I'm like, never. Like, I don't care. As bad as it sounds, I want what I want. I'm the one who sets the standard and you can follow me or you can go away. It's unfortunately the way it's got to be.
Yeah. I understand.
But, yeah. The big thing that we've noticed too is we've managed to fall backwards into a good handful of marketing agencies that are monstrous. I mean, way beyond anybody that should be dealing with us, to be honest. But we did a thing for I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but we did an event for Tinder. We made like 2,000 of these acrylic circular buttons. Basically, there was nothing on it. It was just a circle with Tinder printed on it. Was a pink circle, and they gave them out to all the college kids at one of the campuses down in Texas, and they had a bright pink wrap taco truck. And she's like, we need them in a week. Our other vendor screwed us. We need them now. Like, cool, no problem. We got you. Knocked them out, got them done. She was overly ecstatic. We did some stuff for her with Adidas like a couple months later. And just to be, kind of like front of mind, we sent her specifically stuff. And it's just like, here. Thank you. We appreciate you. And now every single time that she needs anything, she reaches out to us first. Like there is no, oh, well, we talk to them because they're bigger. They don't care. They want whoever is the first person that's going to respond to them and get their stuff done.
I agree. And that's something so many like newerish businesses will ask me advice or like, how do you get these clients or how do you whatever? And I'm like, dude, you can get anybody. Like literally anybody. Like, and that's something that I've learned over the years. And again, when I was still a garage shop with a fucking silver press and a tiny, I've said this story a bunch of times, but like we got like the New York Mets and they were willing to like give us all this work. I'm like, dude, we would have died if they actually gave us that work because of how big of a company and project it would have been. But any of these people are attainable. And that's like the whole thing with like the Instagram reaching out or the Dream 100 list or whatever is like, just start wowing anybody. Like, don't be like, well, I'm this size shop and it's just me and Hailey. And like, I think we're only can do these pizza places and they say like, whatever. It's like, no, dude, hit up fucking like literally anybody. Be like, oh, I want to work with Target or I want to work with, fucking Theo Vaughn or something. Like any of these people are attainable. Like as long as you somehow get a connection to them, like you can work with them. Like I'm doing a project right now where I'm like, there's no way, like why us? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I mean, we've been around and like whatever, but like still, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like this is for somebody like I really look up to and idolize, and they like want to work with us. Like it's not necessarily them directly; it's like their team, but still, it's like,
you
know what I mean? Like if I can do that, or I can work with Star Wars, or I can work with like this other, or like whatever company, I'm like, anybody's approachable, especially now with the internet and your capabilities or whatever. Because if you're not doing it, like you'd be surprised at how many of these large companies just like order from like Custom Ink or like 4imprint or whatever. And it's like, it's just because nobody else approaches them.
Yep. Yeah, they're the hot girl at the bar. Everybody's scared to talk to them.
I'm glad you said it. I wasn't going to say it.
Always my go-to. We had stuff that was actually at the Super Bowl. And I don't watch football. I don't watch sports. I couldn't care less.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was one of our marketing agencies. She called me. She's like, I need this by Saturday. There's no exception. I need it. I'm like, cool. We got you. No problem. We'll get it done tonight. It'll ship out tomorrow. You'll have it in plenty of time. And then like she sent us pictures of it. And I'm like, where is that? And it was at the ESPN tailgate party at the Super Bowl. I'm like, okay, cool.
Someone's got to do
like,
it.
Weird off the wall stuff you never think of.
Now, with some of that stuff, is that stuff that they'll maybe give you a photo of, or that's something you could post on your socials that you did stuff for that?
I don't know. Did we ask her? Because I looked all over the internet for it. I'm like, I'm going to try to sleuth and I'm going to try to find it somewhere, like in a random video. I did no luck.
Yeah, no. For most of the time, we'll ask everybody of like, can we post this? Do you want us to not post it? The same thing, the whole blind shipping, because all of our tape is branded. So do you want it completely anonymous? How do you want it? And most of the time they do want it anonymous, which is totally fine. But with her, she has been very much like, I don't care, because she is the only person, I think, in her marketing agency that handles ESPN specifically. So she doesn't really seem to care.
What is because you mentioned earlier having like the plan of the cap at certain amount of revenue or a certain amount of employees or whatever. Like, what is the actual current plan that you both have of where you want to be, what you want to do? What's the next piece of equipment or pieces of equipment you guys want to get?
Dude, we got so much equipment in the past year.
Yeah, we pretty much everything in this building is damn near due in the last 12 months.
I mean, give me a reason to get the Impress, but if that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, Colton, if you're listening, I know you want the Impress.
We're thinking about getting one too. So
it's amazing.
You're not alone. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been looking at them since before they really came out. And they keep adding new pieces to it. And I just keep looking at it and going, oh my God, this is going to cost me a fortune. And I'm going to be so happy to spend a bunch of money that I shouldn't spend. But
well, dude, even like us talking, I said something about magnets, and you were like, "Oh, well, give me a reason to buy this fucking thing."
Yes, yeah.
Those especially, I would love to be able to do those.
Yeah, no, the magnets is the problem child, because we need such a specific thing to do it, and we have such a good outlet for it. But it's painful. Like the one that I was talking to you about, really, we found out isn't necessarily going to work the way we want it to. And that one was $65,000. And the one that we really kind of need is like $112,000. And it's like, you just start going, ugh, God almighty.
Stacks up.
Yeah. So,
but I think with the same market that you guys have for the onesie twosies or the other products, like magnets goes hand in hand, in my opinion.
It does.
Yep.
Well, and even like, this is going to be a weird thing to say. We live out in the country, so we have a septic field. Well, every 3 to 5 years, you get your septic pumped. The first thing they do is they give you a magnet and they write on the date that they did it, so you know when you need to do it again. Like, and they buy those things like 10,000 at a time.
That'll cover the machine right there.
No, not even close, but that's a good theory.
No, I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying it to fuel your addiction for buying equipment.
Yes, it would be different if I had cheap taste, but I'm an expensive date.
Are expensive.
Yeah, but to a degree, it's it's your business. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
You know, it's an investment in what you guys are going to do. And if you don't pay it off this year, you pay it off in 2 years, 3 years, whatever. And then you have the machine. And I know you'll take care of it. You're a mechanic.
Yes.
You'll go through. It'll last you 20 years and it'll pay itself off 10 times over.
Yeah, that's half the problem is that I start re-engineering things. If I've upgraded a lot of our equipment that I was never supposed to touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People let you slide.
Yeah. Don't do that too much though. People get in trouble for that.
Yes.
So again, to wrap this up, tell me about the apparel stuff. Do you really see yourself wanting to get like screen printing presses, darkroom, screens, ink, all those things?
There's only one answer to that, and it's the most expensive possible scenario. I have plans. I have brokers dealing with it right now. I have plans to buy another screen printing shop out. There's not a specific one. It's not anytime soon, but they're basically covering the entire state trying to find me the right business to buy out. When that happens, it's going to be even more expensive though, because I refuse to do anything halfway. So I want to do it fully. I want like the CTS, the LTS. I want the reclaim stations. I want everything. I want to do it all in one fell swoop, or I don't want to do it at all. So it has to be financially viable to do it. So if that works, if I can find the right place to buy, yes, 100% I will do it. If I never find that, I'll never own it.
Well, I don't know what to tell you there because that's a fucking ballsy, that's a ballsy
You're
situation.
crazy.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. I have no middle ground on this. I've thought about it every which way but loose, and I cannot find another solution that I'm happy with. That's the only thing that I keep coming back to.
But would you move that shop into your current location, or would you try to have two locations?
So we'll probably end up with more locations in the next 12 months anyway. But it's not necessarily due to production. Production will always be in one spot. We kind of want to have like a satellite store of where people can walk in, kind of look at stuff, play with stuff, all that, like whatever. But like it'll be a very, very small, like shopping mall kind of thing, like 900 square feet kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if we buy somebody else out, then yeah, it would come into Indianapolis. It would be a new facility, but production's always going to be under one roof.
All right. I want to hit you guys with some fun questions, and then I'll let you get back to work, and I'm sure you'll be there all evening.
Yes, I will.
Lesson learned so far, advice for your younger self.
Watch all your money.
Watch all your money?
Yes.
Watch it stack up.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be great. No, watch where every single dollar goes. You will be dumbfounded at the amount of money that you piss away not watching it.
Budget, plan, invest. Those kinds of things.
Yes. I mean, and there's a million different angles to all of that, of course, but just know what you're actually spending every month. Yeah. I mean, and I'm going to say this is a completely tongue-in-cheek thing because we spend a fortune on eating out. If you don't need to eat out, if you have a way to bring lunch every day and you're still spending $1,400 a month in Chipotle, you got to re-examine some shit.
I can fully agree with that because I'm trying to be better now. I'm trying to just in general be healthier and like make like a meal and then chop it up into stuff I can bring to work. Like I noticed how much I wasn't using my card in like the last 2 weeks. And I was like, wow, that like, cause the end of every week and like when my deposit comes in from work, I like see, okay, this is where my bank account is. Like normally I'd be like, oh, this is this flux of money coming in every week. Now I'm like, wow, there's way more in there than I was used to. Like, what is going on here? And I realized it's because I wasn't spending like $30 a day and like getting takeout.
Yep.
Like, and takeout's expensive. And we say takeout in like a nice way. Like, oh, you're ordering from like fucking Italian restaurant. I mean, like going to McDonald's for breakfast and then like getting lunch at one of the 5 places in town of something. And you're like, wow, cool. I spent, at least $25, $30 on breakfast and lunch. And then when I go home, it's like, oh, I might make something for dinner that I had with groceries, but I'm eating out probably 2 times a day.
Yeah.
Like normally, because I get breakfast. Like when I say breakfast, it's like breakfast sandwich, iced tea. And then lunch is like, oh, I'll go get a sub or a salad or something, but I'm still getting it from somewhere. Right. It's like, that shit's expensive. Like, knock it off. Like, make a fucking lasagna at home and then chop it up and take it to work for lunch. Like, Stop spending so much money on stupid shit. Do you happen to have a shop hack, be it artwork or something to do with what you guys do or anything that anybody can take away?
I got kind of two.
Okay.
One, you need a finance guy. Like, I know debt is a horrible, horrible problem for everybody of like, you don't want to have debt. You got to have a finance guy. I think that that's just absolutely a necessity because if something comes up, you can just call him up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my finance guy is absolutely phenomenal. I've used him way more than I should have, but he has saved me a fortune in the amount of money we've spent.
Now, how does that work for you? Can you lay that out, like how you got him and why you use him?
We went through kind of the same way you go through a realtor. We kept dealing with people, and we kept having like, no success and problems. And we have very, very high credit scores. So we should never be a problem to get approved. But everybody was coming back if they wanted these ridiculous terms, whether that was a ridiculously long, number of months, or it was a ridiculously high interest rate or whatever. And they generally want to push you into whatever the best thing is that month for them, whatever they're getting a kickback on. So if you have a guy that you deal with all the time, you're not going to get that. My guy is normally doesn't have to do a whole lot of work. I do most of the legwork myself of knowing what I want before we come in, even to the point now that I know most of the lenders by name. So if we've dealt with them, and I know that I like,
is this just a guy on the side that does finance, or is this like through a bank or through a program? It's through a lending company, corporation, something like that. I don't know. It's MMP Capital if anybody wants to use them. But you're going to get a lot better things. Like, I don't know if you guys necessarily with like screen printing presses deal with Geneva Capital, stuff like that. You're not going to get the same. I know of them. Yeah, but I don't really see. The reason why I'm asking is because I don't have a finance guy, because I don't normally ever do that. I just buy things when I have the money. Like I don't really get loans that often. So that's why I'm asking. Like, how do you go about getting this for somebody who doesn't know? Yep.
I mean, basically just talk to these people. If they're not willing to give you all the information you could ever hope to need, then they're not going to be worth it when it comes time to do anything. Yeah. Actually, yesterday, one of our good friends, she reached out to me and said she needed some information, and they got in touch, and they're figuring out what they need to do. But they're like, he'll go over all your books with you. He'll check everything over, and he'll go, cool. Well, this is your cash flow. This is what your P&L is showing for everything. This is what we can get you into, and this is realistic for you to be able to afford. And this is going to be the best interest rate for you. Like, they're actually going to work with you. It's not just, ooh, I want this shiny new piece of equipment. Here it's 24% interest. I'll, sign on the dotted line. Like, no, that's stupid. I mean, I know that's a horrible subject to have, but everybody needs to have somebody that actually is willing to help them with it. Because it's not bad when you understand it. It's just bad when you don't understand it, because
right. And you're just willy-nilly getting loans and getting high interest and getting screwed over.
Yeah, nothing like an 84-month car loan.
All right, some more serious question. What animal would you guys be if you could transform Animorph style?
I know what your answer is. I didn't even think of an answer for that. Give me a minute.
I'd be a squirrel in a heartbeat. I could be something cool like a wolf. I'd rather be a squirrel.
That's a why?
Because it would be so much fun to run up a tree in a corkscrew pattern.
But they don't have great lifespans. They get run over a lot.
You would prove them wrong.
That's right. They get to do weird shit and they die in a weird way.
You'd be that squirrel or whatever it is from Ice Age running after that.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
Makes sense. Haley, what would you be?
A turtle, because they live forever.
Yeah, but do you want to live forever laying on the bottom of a pond?
Under the water? Like from Finding Nemo?
Yeah, but
they just float forever? You get to see all the aliens in the water?
That is true. Do they
all
get
the shit
to see the
that's
aliens?
Down there? Yeah.
Are they aliens?
Or maybe. I'm going to sea turtle.
You're going to get taken out by a straw. All right. Well, because you guys work 7 days a week, what is your ideal vacation?
Haven't had one of those in a decade.
What is a vacation?
We suck at vacations. The last time that we technically took a vacation was when we moved to Maine, and we hated it. It was horrible. it was a cabin on the lake, and we just could not wait to leave.
Mm.
You just got to make a vacation that is also work inspired, because then you'll want to go for both reasons.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason that we've stayed away from having hobbies, honestly, because every time we get a hobby, we want to turn it into something. Yes.
Yeah. How do we get money out of this? For sure.
It's the problem.
If someone was to play you in a movie, who would it be?
Rachel McAdams, because she's amazing.
She is amazing.
What's the dude from Bleed for this?
I could really
Miles Teller
and say, "Oh, Miles Teller."
That's a good choice. He's doing good.
Like him. He's doing great. He's in a lot of good movies.
That's right. He was next to Fat Jonah Hill. He was at the top of his game.
Fat Jonah Hill. Mm-hmm. Was he?
Really fat Jonah Hill. It was when they were the
War Dogs.
Yeah. They were the
that was
smugglers.
That movie. I remember.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that movie is very relatable to us in our industry when they lowballed the government. And he's like, you lowballed by like millions of dollars.
$53 million. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's relatable to us, where we would try to bid on something and be like, oh yeah, we'll go with you for sure. We could have easily got another couple dollars per shirt out of you. All right, last one. Top 4 favorite movies of all time.
The Mummy, the original Mummy, not the Tom
trilogy?
Cruise nonsense. I love the first one. The first one is by far my absolute favorite. The second one's okay. What isn't the third one the Scorpion King? With
the Scorpion King wasn't the
That's
Scorpion
not
King
great.
its own movie. He was in the third one.
It was
but
like
then they
a
made a
part
Scorpion
of it.
King movie.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was not great. But the first one, 100%. I'll go musical. I'll go Chicago. And
The Mummy to Chicago.
Across the Universe, which I don't know how many people even know that's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And what's another one? I'll say Airheads just to say Airheads.
You're taking one of mine?
I'll take one of yours
All right.
because I know.
Airheads is fantastic.
Airheads is so good.
Airheads holds a special place.
You're getting your Brendan Fraser from Mummy in your...
You can't have enough Brendan
in
Fraser.
your Airheads.
I'd put the whale in there too if I could.
I haven't seen that yet. I've been meaning to, but I haven't seen it yet.
Good. It's so good.
It looks like a movie I'm going to have to cry to, so I kind of push that off a little bit.
You will cry, and you will have to pay attention to it the whole time too. It's so good.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that.
Mm.
Well, they are bringing the Mummy back. So
I know, but I think they're all going to be in it too.
I know they are.
I'm excited. It's good when they have the actual original cast.
They're also bringing back National Treasure too, which I'm really excited about.
Oh my God. Nicholas Birdcage and another movie.
All right, Brandon, what are your movies?
Something nobody has ever heard of. I can almost guarantee it. It's Two-Lane Blacktop.
Oh, fuck yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Drag strip movie.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you like Roadkill? And
oh, you mean when it was on Motor Trend? Well,
when it was on YouTube.
Yes, when it was on YouTube, it was fantastic. When Motor Trend got a hold of it, they fucked it up.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah.
Yes. My biggest issue with that is from being a mechanic for so long, I have a hard time watching other people do things. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Like,
yeah.
And then I start to get fidgety, and then I start to yell, and then I get told to turn the TV off.
Finnegan's favorite movie is Two-Lane Blacktop. That's why I know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's James Taylor and Dennis Wilson.
That's like the must-see movie if you're a drag strip guy.
It's not even that. It's really if you are a real car guy, that is the movie. Like there is just so much about that movie that's iconic, and the car that's in it is the 55 Bel Air. Yeah, 55 Bel Air is the same Bel Air that is from American Graffiti, which was so far ahead of its time. I mean, straight axle coil over. Yeah, high ram, twin fours, flip hood. Yeah, no, it was bad. That thing was sweet.
All right, next movie.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay.
I had to pick something with John Candy, and it was very tight against Uncle Buck, but gotta go Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I just watched that recently because I watched that documentary. He was about him, the I Like Me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have not watched that. I really do not want to watch it. I'm not crying over that.
You will, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm not watching it.
Yep. All right, next.
The Departed.
Love it.
Yes.
It's too good.
It is. And then I would probably if I wasn't going to pick Airheads, I would probably pick Cinderella Man.
That's good too.
Good one.
It's a good mix there. You got some personal, strong mechanics style stuff, and then you got the intense Departed and whatnot. And then Hailey's all over the place with fucking Mommy to Chicago. I can't put those.
Yes.
I can't put those together. I appreciate you both. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for bouncing ideas back and forth with me lately and kind of figuring things out. It's been awesome. So
it's been fun.
I did want to have you guys on again because I think what you guys are doing is really great. And I know sometimes when you're in your own bubble, you don't hear that from people and you don't have that encouragement, but it is definitely earned. So you guys are doing a great job. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Okay. Bye, guys. I'll see you later.
Bye.
See ya.